Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the iceHQ ice rink here in Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia, on Warranjoy and Woiwurrung traditional land for the CCM National Women's Tournament 2023. It's Saturday morning, and we are coming up onto Game 8. That's right, 8 games of hockey since yesterday afternoon for the National Women's Tournament here at iceHQ. I'm Carl Brewer, and joining me again this morning is Britt Jackson. Britt, it's great to have you. It's your second stint in the commentary box doing the play-by-play stuff, and I hope you had a lot of fun in the first one just an hour ago while we watch these two teams battle it out. It's our first interstate game of the morning. The two teams have had a chance to have a bit of a rest, and Melbourne teams starting it off. We have 9 games today. This is the second one of the morning, and we'll be starting again at 3:45 Eastern Standard summertime this afternoon. So for those of you from Adelaide, it's half an hour before, but Central Coast friends, we're on the same time zones. That makes it nice and easy. It's a bit complicated for us having to manage time zones. So we just saw a very interesting game where an unexpected result where the Melbourne Furies, with Sarah Edmonds scoring 4 goals, just managed to beat the Flaming Galahs 4-3 in quite a fascinating little tussle. But this game will be an interesting one. We've got the Central Coast Stingrays, who won 4-2 and then 3-1 yesterday. So they're on top of the ladder with a great percentage, and they're up against the Adelaide Hidden Gems, who lost their first one against the Quokkas 2-1, but then beat the Reds 2-1 yesterday afternoon and yesterday evening. It was definitely evening. I've got to say, Britt, they played a really smart game of hockey, the Adelaide team. I was very impressed with their decision-making and how they managed the pressure that when they were put under, and they played a good, simple game. They weren't trying to do fancy stuff. They were playing good, sensible, high-percentage options. They were clearing the puck out of the zone, clearing the puck up the ice, and they just kept turning the Reds around, and as a result, they managed to capitalise on that situation. So it will be fascinating to see how the Stingrays cope today with a bit of pressure on them. They're playing a team today that's possibly a little bit more competitive than they were yesterday. So I know you tuned in and watched a couple of the games. Britt, what are you thinking is going to happen here?
Yeah, I mean, we've got the Stingrays who have a lot of high scoring on their
That
side.
they certainly do, and we've seen Prosick with 2 and Owen with 2 and Sam Winder with 4 yesterday. So she's had a outstanding couple of games. But so the high scoring team.
And as you said, some good pressure, good hockey from Adelaide. I'm excited just to see how they go together. You know, what defensive the Adelaide give, and see if they can try to stop some more of the offensive from the Stingrays.
Absolutely. Well, I'm really looking forward to see Laura West again. She played particularly well yesterday. I think was a little bit unlucky not to get rewarded with a couple of goals, but a very, very good defensive centre in the way she plays. And she's a real delight to watch play. But we also saw Kershaw with 1. Tegan Bell scored 4 goals. Hang on, that can't be right. Why? That doesn't add up here. They've only scored 3, but I've got 4 there. So I've done something wrong. But Tegan Bell played well as well. Urquhart played particularly well in the games yesterday too for the Gems. But Tori Kellett did a terrific job in net. And so too in the net for the Stingrays was Guinevere Lunt. Lunt is a local girl who is filling in, and she's done a great job. She plays B3 in our B League here at iceHQ. And we're about to get underway. The referee's getting ready to drop the puck, but South Australia still having their little powwow over at the bench. But the South Australian team in the white with yellow, and it's a bit hard to tell the colours from here, and the Central Coast Stingrays in the green, and it's a very bright green indeed. Watch for Vicky Prosick from the Stingrays. Often scores very early in the game if they get clean possession.
And Adelaide gets early possession of the puck. Bit of traffic in the neutral zone, managed to be hit out by the Stingrays. And we've got a little bit of congestion up the boards, bit of contest for the puck. Running up behind the net, we've got Adelaide in possession. Now we want to watch for the Stingrays those early opportunities and try to cut them off short if you're Adelaide.
Adelaide doing a good job of just owning that space in front of the net, denying Prosick the space that she wanted.
Adelaide with the puck in the corner, running it up, crossing over into, and she doesn't quite get into the neutral zone, blocked by Stingray there.
And that's West there again. She got cut off by Prosick, but then did the right thing, the smart thing, just dumped the puck down the other end, forced the Stingrays to have to go and get it. It's been common in the Adelaide game. They have played really smart hockey. Every time they've been under pressure, they've done the right thing to relieve the pressure and give themselves time to get reorganised.
Stingrays hitting it up behind the net. And it's kept in possession by the Stingrays. We're running it up with Owen here. manage to sneak it back once it gets deflected off. And they're into their offensive zone. They're going to be looking for a shot on the goal here. We've got Marion here with the puck. Adelaide gaining possession back into the neutral zone.
Smart play there by Urquhart. She saw that her player was offside, just held the puck briefly on the blue line. She wasn't under enough pressure to have to be forced. She just bought time for Adelaide. They're playing a smart game.
And we've got Stingrays back in possession. Abertrangelo taking it into their zone. A little bit of fumbling with the puck there on the boards. Tries to hit it into to find a pass. No one quite catches it, and it's taken back by Adelaide.
And they clear the zone and turn the Stingrays around. So far, the Stingrays a little bit frustrated. They've had most of the run of the game, but Adelaide playing smart, just turning them around, making them go back and get the puck. And after a while, that gets frustrating, and then your decision-making starts to drop off a little bit. And the Central Coast Stingrays do something about it, or will Adelaide just continue to turn them around and annoy them?
They're certainly making them work for it early here. No one's really showing too strong of a possession of the puck, a bit of a turnaround. And it just sneaks by the ref there.
And that was Wigan there just bringing the puck in for the Adelaide Hidden Gems. And again, just controlling the puck, gets a shot through traffic. Nice option. But what you see there from Wigan was a low shot, and that's really what you want to do from the blue line. Get those low shots in. It forces the goalie to have to make a save, but it often results in a rebound. Quite often it'll bounce off the pads, or you might pick up a deflection. Now in that case, Lunt swallowed it up quite nicely, but it was absolutely the right option there for Wigan to do, and it's the stuff that Adelaide did so well yesterday as well.
And it's crossed back over into the neutral zone. Stingrays in possession of the puck, hit over to Parker, and then it's crossing the ice there. Well, we're seeing a couple of hits here already.
It's a fair contest in that occasion. This time the referee's hand doesn't extend. You are allowed to contest the puck in that circumstance. If you do collide with each other, that's just one of those things. It's part of the game. It's not a check. It's just a collision in contest for the puck. And it doesn't look like it's done either of them any harm. West straight back up into the game. And this time, very nearly through Lunt, who lost sight of that puck just briefly. Shot through from the point through the 5-hole, but Lunt managed to get something on it.
And we're seeing the Stingrays trying to clear it here out of the zone.
This is the first time Stingrays have been under any real genuine pressure throughout the entire tournament. And they're doing a good job so far of owning the space in front of the net. But this time, there's a loose puck popping around. That was West just not quite able to capitalise on it. Very nearly. It's in the right place.
Adelaide pretty quick to pick up the loose pucks. You want to keep control of that if you're the Stingrays. Getting it back into their offensive zone, and both teams are just going for a quick change here. Stingrays in possession.
Beautiful forecheck there by, lost sight of who it was, unfortunately for Adelaide, but 52 in Crystal Manning did a good forecheck. And just keeping that pressure on the Stingrays, who aren't getting it all their own way, that's for sure. They last two games where they did win 7-2 and 3-1, they had most of the game flow, but so far it's been Adelaide doing a particularly good job of denying them opportunities. Adelaide unfortunately crash into each other. That makes the highlight reels, that one.
We've got the Stingrays trying to get steal from the back of the net. They're actually shooting it from the back of the net into the back of the net.
Doesn't go that way.
No.
It's worth a try, but it doesn't go that way. If it does, there's something wrong.
Still in possession of the puck. We've got the Stingrays at the back of the net, trying to hit it over, looking for a pass and a shot on the net.
So some good scoring opportunities this time by the Stingrays. They got a couple of loose players in the slot who did get some shots on the net there, but Kellett did a pretty good job of owning it all. And now we will see a defensive zone face-off for the Adelaide team. Now, yesterday they set this up pretty well, and they got their wingers inboard in the slot position and moving quickly on the drop of the puck. Let's see what they do this time. And you can see the Stingrays D just being a little bit conservative, holding back, and that's not a bad option. Take the shot from a distance. Chance for the rebound. The rebound flings in, but just goes a little bit wide there. That was Abertagello just missing. She did play particularly well yesterday.
A loose stick on the ice, and it's being picked back up. Stingrays in possession here. We're And it's a shot on the net.
And this time it's a shot in the net.
And
That one rings off the post and just tips in. And that's the Stingrays getting the first goal up. They've been probably a little bit frustrated through the first 10 minutes. Adelaide doing a particularly good job of maintaining that pressure on them and denying them a lot of opportunities. But they get a good shot, and we see that on the replay. It just tickled the side of the net, of the post. And you could hear it go ding, and in it went. And I think that was Abatangelo who got that one. We'll find out in just a moment when it pops up on our system. It's a bit hard to tell from here. We'll be able to give you the scores and the assist in just a moment. Yeah, it was Abatangelo who scored that one. And it was a beautiful shot from the Alex Ovechkin Memorial shooting position. If you watch your NHL, the Washington Capitals, a life support system for Ovi. Well, they've won a few games now. I'm not doing as well as Boston, but that's okay. I like that.
ooh, bit of a hit there from Bartlett.
Yeah, an interesting goal. I'm not sure there was actually contact there. It was pretty close.
Yeah, it was a bit of a loose contact.
I'm not sure there was actual contact made there, but all the same, we will now get our first penalty of the game, and that will be the Stingrays sitting in the box, and that gives the Adelaide team their first chance to get on the power play, and they'll have 2 minutes of a numerical advantage. There was a little bit of a lifting of the elbow perhaps there on that movement. That might have been what prompted the penalty. Can Adelaide profit from the penalty? It remains to be seen. The answer is very nearly.
Shot on net.
But as we know, Brit Nearlys don't count.
No, and that was from Bell there.
The Adelaide team racing back quickly to pick up the puck. They know that they've got 2 minutes and they don't want to waste it.
Running it back through the neutral zone, back into their offense. We've got
So there's just the two Adelaide players up on the line. A little bit slow on a change there, so a little bit of lost opportunity. Puck bobbling out in front of the net, still there for them if they want it. Everyone falling over in front of the slot, but that happens. Loose bobbling puck, they turn around, try to take a shot from the high slot, goes in, but it goes high over everything. On the net, not over it. There we go, another shot option. So that's 3 shots so far through this power play for the Hidden Gems. And they get another little dribbler across the front, but it's picked off by the Central Coast, and they dump the puck down the other end and force Adelaide to have to go back and get it, which is the right thing for them to do as well.
What we're seeing here in this power play, the Gems actually aren't quite. The Stingrays are getting in front of the net early and in front of the players, so the Gems aren't having to shoot from far behind.
And we have another icing call there, and that was the attacking team, the Adelaide Hidden Gems, iced the puck, and so they have to go back, and that plays into the hands of the Stingrays, who now only have the 30 seconds to go on the Annie Bartlett penalty. And it was Sam Winder who got that first goal, and she was assisted by Abatangelo and Tanya Crawley. So just to correct it, was Winder who got the first one.
Very close goal there for the Stingrays. Just missed the net with wide open from the goalie there.
20 seconds to go on the penalty kill, I should say. 10 seconds now to play on the penalty for the Central Coast team. They've done a pretty good job so far. But Adelaide also had a number of opportunities, and this time it's played down the other end. That wipes the penalty. We are now back to 5-on-5 as Annie Bartlett gets back on the ice.
Stingrays in possession in the offensive. Tries to look for a pass, gets blocked, taking it behind the net.
West battling with Bartlett there. Bartlett pretty strong, won't get pushed around.
Bit of traffic in front of the net there. And back into against the boards.
And we have another penalty. And we'll see what this one is for. We can't see it there, unfortunately for us. There's a sightline blockage. There's a big steel girder between us. And it looks like Bartlett coming back into the box for another rest. And a little bit frustrated by it. We're not quite sure what this for. I think that's for a roughing. And Bartlett will sit for another 2, which gives the Adelaide team that extra advantage once more. With 4 minutes to go, it'll be around about 3 minutes and 50 seconds on the drop of the puck. And the Adelaide team will have another player advantage for 2 minutes. Can they convert it this time into a goal? They got close last time. Can they make it happen this time? I'll tell you what Bartlett's penalty was for in just a moment when we get an update on our system. It may have been a charging. Different referees have different interpretations of the contact rules in hockey, and one of the things that players have to do is adjust to that. Nice shot there from the point, but it's plucked out of the sky by Lunt, who makes that one look easy. So a little bit of a lesson there for new players. I think to remember is that goalies have fast hands and slow feet. If you shoot high, it makes the highlight reels if it goes in, but quite often the goalies will catch it. And so, but we still don't have an update on what Bartlett's penalty was for, but we'll have that very shortly.
Couple shots on net here. Stingrays in possession though, and
Nice clearance
just
by the
dumped it.
Stingrays. Dump it all the way down the other end. Force the Adelaide team to have to go back and get it. It's the smart thing to do. There's another 10 seconds, taken 20 seconds or so stolen out of the penalty, but here's the chance. The Stingrays get their defensive pattern organised.
Kershaw
Oh,
running it
that
up
was
the
so
net.
close.
But the Stingrays managed to clear it.
Beautiful penalty kill here by the Stingrays. I think it's the first time they've really been tested. And that's Abbatangelo doing a fantastic job on the penalty kill.
Well, Bell with the puck, and it's taken past to Urquhart. And the Stingrays are running it up. We've got Crawley running it up. Goes for a short-handed goal, and
So
just
close
knocked
there on
out.
the tipping. You could see Adelaide just a little bit, is often the case. You get a little bit complacent on the power play and prioritising attack a little bit too much. And they do want to get that goal back, but it's early days. It's still only the first period. They don't need to panic. Just 5 seconds now to go on the second Bartlett pennant, and the second Bartlett penalty was also for interference, which basically means getting in the way, which is kind of a defensive player's job. So
Abbatangelo locked up at the boards here with Baird, and it snuck out the puck.
1 minute and 30 seconds to go in the first. We have a 1-goal lead to the Stingrays. What has been a very interesting game so far. It's had a bit of everything.
Loose puck in the Stingrays offensive zone. Smacking it back in by Crawley there. Goes for shot on net, and we've got a goal for the Stingrays.
That was Bartlett making amends for the 4 minutes of penalty that she sat. She now gets a goal on the board, and that gives the Stingrays a 2-0 lead. Nice little shot from unmarked spot in that prime scoring position, right in that slot, and that's a best place to take a shot from if you can. And Bartlett makes no mistake and tickles the twine, buries the rubber in the net. And as a result, with 50 seconds to go in the first, the Stingrays with a 2-0 lead over the Adelaide Hidden Gems. And Bartlett comes straight back onto the ice.
Face off won by West there for the Adelaide Gems. Gems in possession. Got Wigan looking for a pass, looking for somewhere to put the puck. It's tied up a bit.
Just fanned on that pass too, trying to get the puck out of the zone there, Wigan. Just wants to sort that out. It's got possession again now with the second chance. Just under 20 seconds to play in the first.
Running it back behind the net. Got Gems in possession, trying to get it out of the zone, but it's picked up by the Stingrays there.
Bartlett again, she's been a good presence in this game. She's done 4 minutes in the box, but when she's been on the ice, she's been very effective. Number of shots on the net, and just on the dying gasp of the period, gets another one on the net. That takes the shots on the net out to probably, by the time the scorers catch up, it'll be about 10 shots on the net to the Stingrays to 7 from the Gems. The Gems have been unable to get the past Jen, which is going to be Lunt in the net for the Stingrays, who's done a particularly good job in the net for the Stingrays. A couple of times she's been a little bit lucky, but as long as you keep putting your body in the way, the luck will come. So 2-0 lead. Stingrays up over the Hidden Gems at the end of the first. 2 penalties in that first period, both to Annie Bartlett, both for interference. Both she wasn't particularly pleased with. I think the first one in particular looked like an interesting interpretation. But that's the thing about getting to know a referee. Every referee has a different definition of what contact and interference is. You've got to get kind of in tune with that. So sometimes, if you haven't played with a particular ref before, you kind of work out what they'll let go and what they'll penalise. And that's something that Bartlett is no doubt working out fairly quickly, because she's paid the price for it twice now of just misjudging that decision. But she also scored a goal, assisted by Crawley and Abbatangelo. And a very nice shot from the high slot, just on the face-off circle. And Winder with that first goal to the Stingrays. So Abbatangelo with 2 points, 2 goals. So 2 goals, 2 assists in this game so far, and she's been playing particularly well. We haven't seen much from Prosick. She normally scores early on. You can almost set your clock by it. First 30 seconds of a period, Brosek manages to bury the puck, but she hasn't been able to yet. The Adelaide team doing a good job of tying her up and giving her no real good opportunities. West created a couple of chances too for the Gems in the first, but again, the Lunt was in the way, and that kind of stopped it all. A couple of power plays, weren't quite able to capitalise on it, made some good opportunities, but also are pretty lucky to get away with it on one occasion too there, Brit. So we're coming up to the second period, 9 shots on the net to 7 Stingrays to the Gems, which does pretty much reflect the game. It's been pretty even. Adelaide still having their little conference. Stingrays with just the 4 players on the ice now. They just want to get that organised. I'm confident that they will. So we will have 5 on 5. You can play with less players on the ice if you want to, but it's usually not a good idea.
It's not ideal, no.
It's not ideal. But they do get it organised in the end.
Stingrays win the face-off there, but it's taken in possession by the Gems. Into the Gems offensive zone. Stingrays in possession, hitting it up the boards, over behind the net. And using the boards as a little bit of a pass there, we've got Winder in possession of the puck behind the net, tries to tuck it around, doesn't quite make it. No one there to pick it up.
Stingrays clear the zone, take their time before they put the puck in to avoid the offside. Nice patient play there by Chloe Parker.
Puck in possession of Manning here. Oh, sorry, that's actually Laura West there.
And they can't help but think that West pretty soon is going to get a goal. She's been in a number of situations where it's been possible, just been a little bit unlucky. Just keep putting yourself in the right place. Sooner or later, the luck will turn for you. And looks like Bartlett's going to go again. That's her 3rd penalty, and this time it's going to be a trip. The league did get in the way of the Adelaide player moving down the side. I think she'd be a little bit frustrated by that, but that was a pretty fair call. She did trip the opposition, and the referee doesn't have much say in that. If you do cause the opposition player to fall over, then you're going to do 2 minutes whether you like it or not. It's not something they have much discretion in. But, Bartlett a little bit disappointed by that, and she does 2 minutes for the trip. So the Adelaide team with a 3rd power play. Bartlett exhorting that perhaps other players could stand up. Maybe there's a case for that.
Adelaide in possession.
I know I've done a number of penalties when it wasn't my fault that they fell over. They just fell over, and I happened to be in the way. But it does happen. They get a shot on the net there from the point, but swallowed up by Lunt. One of the things about the tripping rule is that you actually the referees don't have any discretion with regards to intent. You didn't have to mean to do it. It just has to happen. If you do trip your opponent over, accidental or deliberate, the referee has no discretion. They're required to award a penalty. It's a relatively new interpretation of the rule. Came in place about 2 or 3 years ago. The referees could previously have some discretion on it, but now the rule is your opponent trips over and you're in the way, you're doing time.
Shot on goal by Trapolino there, but it's smothered by Lunt.
So good power play so far by Adelaide. They're getting a number of shots on the net. I think they've poured on 2 or 3 so far in this one. The score is not yet catching up with that on the scoreboard, but we'll get there soon enough. And Adelaide with so far a fairly effective power play in terms of shots on the net. Just haven't been able to convert it into shots in the net. That's what they would dearly like to do with a 2-goal deficit. 12 minutes to go in the second. And 40 seconds to go on this power play.
Stingrays in possession of the puck, trying to hit it out of the zone, but it's kept in by Wiegand. Another attempt to get it out, and kept in by Wiegand again. Tapping it in, trying to look for a pass, and it's picked up.
Loose opportunity in front of that. One of the things Wiegand's doing a good job, and so too the rest of the Adelaide players. When Wiegand did pinch in to pick up that puck, you notice one of the other Adelaide players came back to cover it up. And as a result, they weren't exposed. They're doing good job of defending in layers, and that's what you want to do. Another shot on the net. Just 5 seconds to go on this 3rd penalty for Bartlett. Puck cleared out of the zone. This is where Adelaide want to be careful because Bartlett comes straight onto the ice, and we can vouch for being a little bit fired up. Right next to where we are.
Yeah,
lovely wrist shot.
Want to watch the physicality there. His refs don't seem to be on her side here.
Yes, the referee we have at the moment is very tough on contact. It is non-checking, not non-contact, but in that particular case, it's a difficult call to see. The referee certainly had a better eye line on it than any of the rest of us. But they don't have discretion in a trip. If you do trip over your opponent, whether or not you meant it, it's going to happen. But just trying to work out, Bartlett's second penalty was actually for boarding, not for interference. And the third one for a trip. So she's done 6 minutes in the naughty corner.
Abertrangelo with the puck in the offensive zone. Stingrays in possession. Got Crawley going for a shot on the net. Couple shots, taking it back around the net. Bit of contest from West there. And it's hit out of the zone.
Adelaide with a good scoring opportunity. Just not quite able to capitalise on the mishandling there by the Stingrays. The Hidden Gems weren't quite able to get a handle on that puck as it just squeezed through everyone.
Abertrangelo circling around with the puck. Still a bit of contest from Wigan there. Wigan's playing a good defensive game here.
Most certainly.
Owen challenging for the puck. Kept in by Winder.
The referee's got a hand up for an offside, but it's been wiped. From where I was standing, well, you got a pretty good view of the blue line, probably a better view than the refs have. But the referee said it was in, so it was in.
Yeah. And we've got the puck just tapped away from Marion, the Adelaide possession. And it's back
lucky there that the Stingrays didn't do 2 for high stick 2. There was definitely contact made by the stick with the helmet. But referee, again, not in the right place to see that necessarily.
Got Green with possession of the puck here. Goes for a shot. And it's managed to be kept by Kellett.
And that will give
by Lunt.
And that will give us 8 minutes to go. Very brief break while both teams change lines. Adelaide with a good opportunity to score from here. They've had a little bit more possession, a little bit more attacking opportunities in the last minute or so of the game. 13 shots to the Stingrays to 10 for the Gems as the scorer sees it. So the scorer only calls a shot on the net if they are confident that the puck would have gone in if the goalie wasn't in the way. So often what you see a goalie making a save doesn't necessarily count as a score on there, because if the scorer doesn't think it was going to go in if the goalie hadn't done it, yeah, the goalie got it, but that doesn't mean it was a shot on the net. And that's the key part of it.
And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing Adelaide take a lot of shots, but they're not quite in the position they need to be to get in.
So good play there by Adelaide defensively, just playing the puck safely up the ice, and as a result, just turning the Stingrays around. Probably skill-wise, I think the Stingrays are a little bit quicker, but Adelaide doing a great job of defending in layers and just taking smart choices most of the time, playing the puck up the ice. The same thing they did last night against the Melbourne Reds. They were just making smart decisions most of the time with their defensive play and just turning the other team around, forcing them to have to go back and get the puck.
Some good passing across here by the Stingrays.
But this time they're in trouble, and we're going to get another penalty, and that will be a hold. And fair enough too in that particular case. That was almost a rugby tackle there. I'm not sure we'll see that on the replay, but yeah, that was definitely cause for a penalty. I don't think she can complain about that one. Pretty much grab hold of someone and throw them on the ice. That's you're going to do time for that. So Adelaide now will sit a 2-minute penalty with 7 minutes to go. An opportunity now for Central Coast to pour on the pressure with the numerical advantage.
Face off won by the Stingrays in their offensive zone. They've got possession. Looking for a pass. There's not too many people helping out there in front of the net.
I'm pretty confident that Bartlett would really like to score on the penalty kill. On the power play, because she's done a lot of penalties. Pretty pleased to kind of make amends for that. But, Adelaide clear the puck out of the zone.
And the Stingrays just made it back over.
So all they need to do is just dump it down the other end, and that's what they do.
And that was by Wigan there, dumping it back in.
6 minutes and 25 seconds to play in the second. Stingrays with a 2-0 lead over the Adelaide Hidden Gems at the moment. The Hidden Gems on a power play with 90 seconds to go. Sorry, the Gems on a penalty kill. I'll get that right eventually.
puck still lying loose after being tapped in out of the zone. We've got, now it's loose in the Stingrays offensive zone. Trying to pick it up, but it's hit out. Oh, and
Beautifully
it's
kept in. But this time Adelaide clears the puck, and we've got a one-on-one race, a foot race here between Bartlett and Harris. But Bartlett tidies it up, and he's helped quite nicely there by Lulu Cash. Sorry, not by Cash, I should say. That was Mish Boska, who we know will be reliable for the Central Coast team, Stingrays. And with just 30 seconds to go on the penalty kill for the Hidden Gems, this is where the Stingrays will need to be careful. If the puck's down the other end, the player jumps on into the neutral zone behind them, they might sometimes get caught unawares.
Certainly. And we've got Abertrangelo running here on a breakaway, goes for a shot, and she scores. And
so it's a power play goal for the Stingrays. And that gives them a lead of 3-0 on the at the end of the Trapolino penalty there. Now, Trapolino probably did the right thing with the penalty earlier, just denying that scoring opportunity. And did have to wear a penalty for it, but unfortunately it ended up being a goal in the end anyway for the Stingrays. But I don't think she made a mistake in terms of tactical errors. It was a professional foul, you could say. Stop the player in any way you can, but you do pay the price for it. And in the end, the price was a goal. Back to 5-on-5 hockey now. And the Stingrays with a 3-0 lead with 4 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the second.
Stingrays in possession here. Abertrangelo going for another shot, passes it, and it gets gobbled up by Kellett.
A good puck movement there across the front, of the net. If you can get that pass to move across the front, that often means the goalie has to move, and when the goalie has to move, you create opportunities. The line down the middle of the rink is called the Royal Road in a lot of pieces of jargon. If you can cross the puck across the Royal Road on an attack, forces the goalie to move. When the goalie has to move, it opens up lots and lots of opportunities to get the puck past them. They have to open up the gap between the legs, which is called the 5-hole, in order to move, and that creates great scoring chances. The defensive team's priority must be to own that space in front of the net and prevent the puck coming across there in a defensive situation.
We've got Winder keeping open, going for a couple of long shots on the net. Doesn't quite make it, a bit wide, but good to see the enthusiasm there. Tied up at the boards here. Adelaide tries to hit it out, and it's picked up by Winder. Passed over to Dwyer, who's got the puck, passes it up. Or down, I should say, to Parker. And it's taken behind the net by Adelaide. Hyde Park manages to keep it on the ice. Winder goes for another shot, and it's just saved.
Good job there by Kellett to pick up that bouncing puck. It bounced off some part of it. We'll see it on the replay here. Not sure if it was just a slightly missed glove save. We'll see it on the replay now.
Yeah,
looks like it's just popped up at the top of the glove, but then managed to get down on top of it and stifle the play, and away we go. So Adelaide's still in this game very much. It's only a 3-goal lead, and they have played pretty well. They've created a number of opportunities. But the Stingrays so far have, with their 17 shots, have turned 3 of them into goals.
Got Kershaw and Marion there running, contesting for the puck up the boards, up into the corner. Makes its way into the high slot, and then Adelaide's got to cross back over the
uncharacteristic mistake there by Adelaide, creating a scoring opportunity. But you can see the urgency of the back check by Winder. Got back to clean up the mess. Great work there by Winder to tidy it up, covering for her defensive partner. It's exactly what they need to do. Just look after each other, because those things happen. Every now and then you're going to miss the puck.
And that was a shot on the net for Adelaide, covered up by Lund.
And with, I think we've got about 3 minutes to play in the period, if I'm not mistaken. Almost definitely am mistaken, but we'll see here in just a second. Once the replay is done, we get a clock back. Yeah, just under 3 minutes. 1 minute and 40 seconds to go on the top of the puck. 3-0 lead to the Stingrays in the second.
Got Adelaide with a couple more scoring opportunities, 18-12. Just not managed.
Well, he's there just floating around, trying to create opportunities for a pass out of the zone for the Stingrays.
Boxcar with some good stick handling here,
she's
trying to make her way through some traffic.
She's looking for Prosek in the slot. But this time Adelaide deny the opportunity. Looking for some space there is Urquhart. Shot on, nice open net, but not quite able to capitalise on it. There was a great opportunity to Adelaide. Very unlucky that the puck just went slightly the wrong way for, Messenger there, who was in the right spot.
And that was another shot on net there, saved by Lunt.
And with just 40 seconds to go, by the time this puck gets dropped, if indeed it does happen at all, we'll have probably 10 or so seconds. So it is a scoring opportunity for both teams. A defensive zone face-off quite often turns into a transition or a rapid counter-attack if they can make it happen, and it's something that we work on at all levels of hockey. It's great to see if the Central Coast Stingrays can do it, or if they could just tie it up. They don't need to score, but they've created that breakout. Got the puck moving quickly up ice.
Petrangelo running with the puck, and it's hit back in. They've got to cross back over.
So they're all offside at the moment, the Central Coast team. And we've just got 13 seconds to play in the period. It was good back-checking work there. Petrangelo did a good job of shutting it down. She could see the urgency requirement to get back and hightailed it. 3 seconds to play. Do they dump the puck?
Petrangelo goes for a shot.
One shot on the last, but doesn't go in. Nicely taken care of by Lunt. And at the end of the second, which was profitable for the Stingrays, we have a 3-0 lead over the Gems. 19 shots to the Stingrays to 13 to the Adelaide Hidden Gems. 2 penalties in the first to Bartlett, and a third penalty to Bartlett in the second period, but that was evened up by Trapolino for a holding penalty on the Adelaide teams, which unfortunately for Trapolino, she was kind of almost forced to do it on trying to shut down a breakaway. But then just at the end of her penalty, the Central Coast team managed to find the net again to take them out to a 3-0 lead, and that was Petrangelo scoring that power play goal. Not quite sure why it's not showing as a power play goal on the system, but it was a power play goal. Petrangelo has been playing a particularly good game, and so too in defence. Winder has been fixing up everything for the Stingrays, but we've seen both teams pretty even. It's not quite showing up like that on the scoreboard, but it's been good to and fro hockey. And the Adelaide, both teams making very good decisions in defence. They're prioritising clearing the puck up the zone, using the boards for safety, and generally playing a pretty good game of hockey. Both teams not making much in the way of real tactical blunders. They're actually playing pretty solid hockey here. What are you seeing, Zoe? Britt?
Yeah, I'm not sure the scoreboard's really matching quite how well Adelaide's playing here in their positioning. But we're seeing some really good pickups by Winder. I think the Stingrays are just grinding a little bit more. Bartlett's certainly in the game. Except for when she's out.
But even then she's in the game, and you can kind of feel it from here. The penalty box is right next to where we're standing, so we get a pretty good view of what's happening with, in particular, the players on the home team bench, because they're right next to us. So anything said in there, we hear it, and possibly you do as well. Our microphones might pick it up. So
we're also seeing some good hockey from Wagand here.
Certainly.
On Adelaide.
So we're looking forward to this third period. Can the Gems get a goal or two, get themselves back in the game? The maths is pretty simple. They need 4 to win and 3 to tie it up. And if the Central Coast team can score a goal, that'll make it much harder for them. A 4-goal deficit. Not impossible. We've all seen the Leafs lose it from there. But most teams would find that pretty easy to defend against. Was that a Leafs joke? I'm sorry. No, I'm not.
I know you're not.
It was Boston that beat them in that final and put them out at the end of the Series 7. But anyway, it's all good.
Yeah, I'm sure. We'll talk about this later, Carl.
You seen who's on top of the NHL ladder again?
It's the Bruins?
I think it's the Bruins. I'm just not sure. I think so. Anyway, this is not what we're here. We're here to watch this game, and then we're underway. The third period. 15 more minutes of fast and furious action here at iceHQ.
Petrangelo going in for the puck there at the corner. Manages to hit it behind the net. Bit of a back and forth between Stingrays there. Petrangelo picking it up, hitting it out, and Adelaide's running it up the ice.
But unfortunately for West, she's surrounded by 3 Stingrays.
Which is never good.
It doesn't help.
Petrangelo running it up and falls over just at the boards there. That didn't look like a very nice fall.
No referee's hands up, so we're not seeing that for a penalty. We are, however, seeing an offside. So one of the things the Adelaide team is going to have to do at this point, to get themselves back in the game, they're going to have to take some tactical risks, as we're just seeing a little bit slow to get back to her feet.
That was a bit of a tough fall. Legs
like
right into the boards there.
Binned it pretty well. We'll see who it is in just a moment. We're going to get a timeout for an injury.
I think that might have been Crawley there.
And we can't quite see it from here. There is a blocked sight line. We've got a steel girder in the way. But one of the things the Adelaide team is going to need to do now is they're going to need to take more risk because they have a 3-goal deficit. They're going to need to throw more into attack. And there's obviously when you take those bigger risks, you throw more players forward. Maybe you think about pulling the goalie. You wouldn't pull a goalie at 13 minutes out, but you certainly would at 3 minutes because you want to get those goals back, get yourself back in the game. When you do that, of course, you throw more players forward. You take a little bit less caution. You do open yourself up to more goals being scored against you. So it's. I mean, the maths is pretty simple. If you take a risk, you're more likely to get scored against, but you're also more likely to score. So it changes the dynamic of the game. So we'll watch the Adelaide team and see if they start throwing more players forward and be a little bit less cautious in defence. Start looking for stretch passes, maybe look at players moving up onto the blue line and looking for long-distance passes and those sorts of things. Remains to be seen if they will do it. Their coaches are pretty switched on. We certainly have. They've done a great job of looking after this team through the tournament so far. And, looks like this one might be a little bit of a long delay for the injury.
Here,
So we'll see if
he
gets back on her feet.
Here. So that's Abertrangelo that's gone down.
That's a big loss for the
She's going
Stingrays. Has
off.
been a very effective player. He's coming off through the penalty box to get off the ice, and we'll get the game underway. Oh no, sorry, Talai going over the other way.
Looks like
No,
she's
that's a helper.
holding her elbows there.
Yeah, might have hit a collarbone possibly. She's not a very happy young lady at this point in time, but hopefully the injury not too bad. But that will be a loss for the Stingrays, and we do hope that I think it's Abertrangelo who's been very effective. A player you don't want to lose, but I mean don't want to lose any of them, but in particular one of your major playmakers. The Adelaide team now do have to take some risks if they are to get in the game, while the Central Coast just get themselves organised.
Yeah, we without Abertrangelo, we might want to see Prosic coming up, showing a bit more presence on the ice.
We'll wait and see what they do. We know she's an effective power player when she's on the ice, but Bartlett moves into defence. It's pretty sturdy. It's a pretty strong player, Bartlett. I'm pretty impressed by her.
Bartlett hits it up the ice. But it's taken into possession by Adelaide, and it's gobbled up by Lunt.
Now, from the point of view of the Central Coast Stingrays, they don't need to do anything special. They've got a 3-goal lead. They don't want to get caught on their heels, but they don't need to do anything risky. They can play the game they've mostly been playing, which is to pretty similar game plan to Adelaide. Just play sensible, smart hockey and play the puck up the ice and just keep moving it out of the zone and turning the other team around. If they can do that, we've got a penalty now on Bartlett again. It'll be her 4th. I think, and it's another trip.
I'm certainly adding that to my bingo card next
Yep.
time.
There's a drinking game. It's Bartlett's penalties. No, is it Bartlett? Yep. Yes, it is, unfortunately for her. No, not Bartlett. I'd tell a lie.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
Sorry to ruin your name,
Sorry.
Bartlett.
My
That's Dutton
sincere
going into the
apologies.
box
That's
there.
Dutton will do too instead. We're just trying to get it all a little bit organised as they're supposed to be in opposite side penalty boxes and so forth. But Adelaide now with the power play, and this is what they need. They have to score on this power play to be a chance in this game if they can get themselves back in it. And they do. They score from the face-off.
And that's Urquhart who scores that one.
The referee's still trying to find it, but everyone else is pretty sure that it's gone in. And it looked like it went into us.
Lunt actually isn't really
No,
sure
we're getting
where
a
it is.
timeout. Did the puck cross the line?
I don't know if it crossed the line there. We'll have
That's
to have a look at the replay.
That's
here.
the ultimate line call. We can't set. We'll set from the top-down video here. No one's quite sure what happened there with the puck. Now, it might have gone over the line and then been brought back when Lunt spun around on top of it. But if that's happened and the ref lost sight of it, it's going to be no goal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the goal
And
is
it's no
disallowed.
goal. But it was a good attempt by Urquhart there.
It was.
She's had a few shots on goal here.
It's a really great, really nice
third
scoring
period.
opportunity. They need to score from again. They need to score from this power play with just the 11 minutes to play and a 3-goal deficit. They've got to score here. They get another chance at it.
We've got Wegand looking for it. Bell picking up, and it's hit out by the Stingrays.
Because all the Stingrays need to do is just shove it down the other end and turn the game around. If they can just keep doing that 2 or 3 times, then that gives them the opportunity. They don't need to go particularly aggressive with their forecheck. They just need to put the puck down the other end and run the clock down. They've got that lead.
Adelaide trying to chase it into the neutral, and it's
Good
hit back in by...
Good opportunity there for Adelaide. Gunn came right up on the puck, and Marion had to make a line call. Do I go and get it or not?
Weekend on a breakaway here, running in towards the net, trying to look for a spot, but she's held off pretty well there by Stingrays Jones. Jones hits it into the corner, picked up by Marion and hit behind the net there. Adelaide, everyone's looking for a shot here. Oh,
the
and
puck
it
comes out of the zone.
Quite stay in the zone there. So the Adelaide are just trying to cross back over here.
Prosek moving nicely and just steals the puck. This is not a bad penalty kill there. Prosek with an opportunity to try and get a shot on the net, but it's ridden deep into the corner. As the Stingrays get a change that they needed. Fresh legs on for D.
And Prosek was just beaten off that puck by two of the Adelaide there.
Boxer for
running up the
Central
ice
Coast.
Green, and she's contested just at the boards there. Adelaide trying to hit it back into their zone. That was Jaggard.
So far, just the 4 seconds to go. This penalty is going to be wiped in just a second. And back onto the ice is Dutton.
Back on the ice.
And we are back to 5-on-5 hockey. Adelaide not able to capitalise. They created some opportunities, including one really close one in that first second of the penalty kill of the power play. But Lunt managed to get something on top of it and prevent it from crossing the line.
Ooh.
Puck bobbles around over the top of the net.
Puck just filters over the top there. Bit of a...
Could have gone anyway, that
water
one.
Bottle there.
And with 9 minutes to play, still a 3-goal lead to the Stingrays.
And we've got a whistle here. I'm not sure what that one's quite for.
Looks like it's an offside from where they're having the face-off.
Yeah. Owen with the puck. And it's hit up by Adelaide. We've got Manning running it down and contested by a Stingray there.
Nice defensive structure by the Central Coast team. They're doing a pretty good job of owning that space. An opportunity now for Adelaide, but it's swooped on by Central Coast. So again, clearing the puck up the ice and not being silly with it. That's Narelle Owen doing the right thing. There's no urgency in what they're doing. Another penalty. No.
Oh, sorry.
We've got an icing call. So Adelaide guilty of icing the puck. Question is, can they turn this defensive zone face-off into a scoring opportunity? That's what they need to do. They need their wingers to move quickly, and they need the face-off for the puck to pop in the right spot, just behind the other centre. And it does. There's the chance for them. But the winger's not quite able to pick it up.
Right into the line. Who goes for a shot, and there's a goal.
Exactly what Adelaide didn't need.
Yeah.
It's a shot from the blue line. And it just went past everything. In that case, Kellett was not able to get anything on it.
Yeah, you can see a frustrated Kellett there.
Yep, he's pretty disappointed. But yeah, that happens sometimes. And Adelaide now with a 4-goal deficit over the Central Coast Stingrays. So not saying that it's all over by any stretch of the imagination. We've seen the Leafs lose from here. But
seen them win from here too.
They have seen them win from here, but yes. Just not in finals.
Not yet. There's always hope.
60 years, my friend, 60 years.
And Adelaide in possession of the puck in the neutral zone, running it up. We've got Dwyer running, that's Gunn for the Adelaide running it up.
They could do a good job of just getting into position for Adelaide, trying to make a play across the net. Abbatangelo, but not able to get a handle on it.
Trapolino chasing it, and it's hit in.
We have 7 minutes to go and a 4-goal lead. Can Adelaide get on the board and give themselves a bit of a spark? They're going to need to. They haven't been held goalless so far. They won 1-2-1 and lost 1-2-1 so far. They'd like to get at least a goal in this game.
And it's kept in. Goes for a shot on net. That was Trapolino, was it?
Good pressure through the slot area. You can see the Central Coast team not giving easy puck possession in the slot, just owning that space in front of the net. But this time the referee doesn't put a hand up for a trip.
Stingrays fighting well here to keep it out of the zone.
And they do exactly that, push the puck all the way down the other end. And so
Trapolino's running it after it there.
Adelaide with urgency. Do they throw more caution to the wind? Do they throw players up high looking for stretch passes? It looks like they might be. They've got wingers moving forward.
Good job keeping it on side.
But Central Coast getting sticks and pucks and bodies in the way and making Lunt's job easy, relatively speaking. And 6 minutes now to play in a 4-goal lead. It can be done, but Adelaide need to score. They've got to turn this face-off into a scoring opportunity. If they win it and get it back to a D on the blue line, get a quality shot. But you can just see Central Coast just taking the time on the change. They don't have to be in a hurry. And Adelaide do win the face-off. Get an opportunity, sneaky backhand, but it goes across the side of the net.
Gun contesting for the puck.
And Central Coast clear the zone once more. Good forecheck.
Seeing some good D here in the offensive zone by Adelaide.
Good forecheck by Harris. Trying very much to get possession of the puck and turn it around. But there's green bodies everywhere in the way. And they clear. A bit of a risky cross-ice pass there for the Central Coast, but they get away with it. Forces Adelaide to come out of the zone.
Wagand and Gillies going for it here. And Harris is going to go after it.
5 minutes now to play. 4 goals the lead. Make that 5 goals the lead.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Adelaide there.
And that was Prosker, I think, getting the shot away. She hadn't scored yet so far this game, and we're kind of used to her managing to do it. She scored in every game so far, and that is now her 3rd of the tournament. And it's we know if you give her space in front of the net, she's going to score goals. Just how effective you've seen it. She was here in the last women's tournament this time last year and did the same thing on a number of occasions. Cannot give her space and time. So that blows the lead out to a 5-0 lead to the Stingrays. 21 shots to 17, so it's been a lot more even than the scoreboard suggests. Adelaide quite haven't been able to capitalise on their opportunities. Lunt's done a great job in net.
Stingrays here really confident with the puck.
Stingrays have also done
passes, good defence.
Stingrays have also done a great job of owning the space in front of the net and denying good opportunities. West now with a chance. Can she steal the puck? No, it's taken off her.
Got Dwyer with the puck hitting it in, and Jaggard goes. I'm not sure if that was a pass or a try to shoot.
Oh, it was
on
definitely
the
a shot on the net,
but
but it deflected off everything. We're into the CCM Final 4. Here's West with the chance, but just loses handle on the puck. She had a chance to move across the front of the net, just couldn't quite control it. Another chance now for Adelaide. Puck still in the zone.
Keep it in. And we've got Manning going for a shot here and loses the puck.
Jagger just not quite able to keep that one in. And as a result, Central Coast clear the puck out of the zone once more.
Manning back with the puck here. Goes for a shot on the net.
Beautiful stick check by Marion, who just blocked everything. And the Coast clear the puck again. And it's going to go for an icing.
Stingrays
if it crosses the line, yep, it does. Goes for an icing, so they'll have to bring it back. Because the goal deficit is more than 1 goal, there'll be no stop time in the last minute of this game. So even if the clock does run down, that does play into the hands of the Central Coast Stingrays. They've got another attacking opportunity here. If they can win the face-off and get that shot, it's a little bit of an indeterminate win.
Yeah, you want to try and get a point on the board.
Shot across the front. Oh, there it was again. So they're getting chances, the Adelaide team, just not able to get quality chances because the Stingrays are there in the slot in numbers and just tying it up. They've done that well all game.
Trapolino going for the puck here against Cole Clark.
2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. 5 goals the deficit.
Adelaide in possession in the defensive zone, running it up.
You can see also too that the Central Coast defensive players just sitting back and waiting, but they're doing a good job.
Yeah, they're letting Adelaide sort of run out their legs, aren't they?
Pretty much, but it's also the right thing to do. You get back early, anticipate the move. It's not a disaster if you're not up high.
Yeah.
It's a disaster if they get behind you.
Yeah.
And so the Central Coast players there, it was Bartlett and Marion doing a good job of just being back nice and early.
Go Clark for a shot there.
Not giving Adelaide the room that they wanted. It's those quick transitions that cause goals. In a lot of cases, that's the highest probability of scoring a goal. Central Coast now with one more chance.
Breakaway from Crawley here. Contested though.
Beautiful poke by Trapolino.
And we've got, and
there's the chance for
out.
Adelaide on a one-on-none breakaway.
Running out on a breakaway. Goes for a shot and
Lunt
doesn't quite make.
Lunt shuts it down. It was the best chance Adelaide have had all game, with a 1-on-none breakaway, but Lunt equal to the challenge and shuts that one down. So it's that was the best chance they had all game. It was the first real breakaway they've had against this otherwise almost impenetrable Central Coast defence. It was the first real A-grade chance, but Lunt did the job. And under a minute now to play, 5 goals the deficit.
Stingrays coming up. We've got Winder with the puck into the zone. And looking for a pass here. It doesn't quite make it to Dutton. And we've got a bit of congestion at the boards here. Still in the Stingray zone. And we've got Adelaide taking it behind the puck. That's... oh, and it doesn't quite stay in the zone by the Stingrays. Picked up by one of the Stingrays there. We've got Dutton going for it. And Stingrays are going to have to, we're going to call there's an offside here.
Yeah, it's going to be all over by the shouting. We won't have this face-off with just the 5 seconds now to play. That will wind up this particular game. I don't think we're going to see the drop of the puck. Or if we do, it'll all be all over almost instantly afterwards. And there it is. So that concludes a game 8, I should say. That was game 5. And the Central Coast Stingrays beating the Adelaide Hidden Gems 5-0. Shots on the net, 23-19, which often tells a little bit of the story. But in this particular instance, the story is that the Stingrays did a better job than Adelaide of owning the space in front of the net and denying really good scoring opportunities. And just were better at shooting. We saw Prosic managed to score towards the finish as the 5th goal, which was really the arrow into the heart of the Adelaide team. Adelaide played well. They did sensible hockey. They did the right thing all the time. Just couldn't quite get through that defence. And Lunt was very pleased. Of course, we'll be very pleased with her shutout, 19 shots for no goals. Winder with 2, Bartlett with 1 and 2, and a couple of penalties, and Abatangelo with a goal as well. And Prosic finishing it off, assisted by Boksha and Giles. So great game there for both teams. We'll be interested to see how the Adelaide team goes in their next games this afternoon. That's their game, 2 games for the morning. We will have in our next game the Melbourne Reds taking on the West Australian Quokkas. The Reds stung by a loss yesterday to the Adelaide team that they weren't expecting, but I think the Adelaide team probably were. And so the ladder as it stands at the moment, the Stingrays well on top with a 3 wins from 3 games and a plus-minus of 12. They've scored 15 goals for just the 3 goals against, which is pretty good. They are guaranteed of a spot in the finals now. Can't be taken off them, but where they finish on the ladder remains to be seen. The Quokkas 2nd place on the ladder still, and they will be playing against the Reds, who are 3rd. And those 2 teams separated by 2 points. If the Reds can win it, they bring themselves up into 2nd place on the ladder, potentially, depending on how many goals they score. The Quokkas win it, they stay 2nd. They won't get up into 1st unless it's an absolute rout, which is unlikely against the Reds. We know the Reds defend very well. They're just haven't been able to score as well as they did last season. They're certainly missing Nella Brenning, who scored a lot of goals for them last season. It's not quite the same Reds team that it was last year. We will take a break now and be back with you at about 10:40 our time. So for those of you in Western Australia who aren't listening to us, you